Hi, folks. I'm George Ferguson, and I'm the instructor for BUS241 Principles of Management. First of all, I'd just like to welcome you to the class and also make sure that you're welcomed here at Johnson County. In this video, we're going to be going over what the expectations are for the course and also how to manipulate all the things that are within the course, making sure you understand what the assignments are going to be, when they're due, that sort of thing. Now, everything is out there. Everything is already available to you. You can go through the course. You can work ahead if you want. Everything is already available to you. The only thing that's not available are the exams. We'll talk about that here in just a little bit. And so what I'm going to do right now is share my screens so that we can see some of the key things to think about as far as the course is concerned. When you log in, you'll hit the landing page here. One of the things I've tried to do is make it easy to access the various areas of the course that most students want to go to. So you have these hot links that will go to those things, like the start here and the announcements and that sort of thing. One of the key things to think about is this video right here. Make sure you watch the video because this shows you how to connect to Connect, which is McGraw-Hill's product for going through the readings and accessing various things within the course. Now, everything's going to be online. And so by accessing and connecting to Connect, this will take you through all of the readings and make sure that you understand the concepts that go along with the course. So make sure you get that Connect thing there. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go over the syllabus. By the way, you can reach things from the menu over here or from the hot links here. So let's look at the syllabus so we can see all the things that need to happen. And let's bump it up a little bit. Okay, so my office is one of the little adjunct offices that's over in OCB 272. You have my phone number, my email address. If we're going to meet face to face or even online, it needs to be by appointment. Um, you can get in touch with me either by phone or email, either way that you want to do it. And the thing is, if you call and you leave a message, I will get back to you it says within 48 hours. It's going to be on the same day. I do everything I can to get back to you on the same day. It's an online course, and so the week is going to go from Monday to Sunday, and it's asynchronous, so we're not going to be meeting at specific times. There's going to be no digital proctoring or Zoom recording or anything like that. Hopefully, you've read over the course description that's in the catalog, and then also the course objectives that go along with this course. So make sure you're clear as far as what it is we'll be getting into. Again, this is a day one access program, all right, so that you have access to all the materials from the very first day. Let me know if you're running into problems as far as getting connected to Connect. Now, each week, we're going to be going through a series of readings, online discussions, Wall Street Journal articles, and then written assignments or applications. And there's also going to be several exams that go along with the course. And with the chapter readings, you need to make sure that your readings get done by Tuesday. When I say readings, that's going through all of the Connect questions uh, as far as that for that chapter. Now, the thing that I found is students who have gone through the connect aspect. In other words, you're going to be asked a series of questions and things, and need to make sure that you get the questions right twice. Okay. So the whole idea behind that is muscle memory, basically. Okay. So what it's doing is it's forcing you to remember some of the key concepts that are within the class. And I've found that students who go through this actually have better retention and score better on the exams. There's going to be 15 readings. Each reading is worth 10 points each for a total of 150 points. We're going to have a series of discussions. Now, with discussions, the the minimums on this are the initial post by Thursday and three significant responses to others' posts by Sunday. Now, when I say significant, I mean something more than gnarly post, dude, sort of thing. Also, one of the things in here to remember is that meeting minimums results in a C grade. So the minimum is the initial post by Thursday by midnight, and then three significant responses to others post by Sunday. There is a rubric that you can look at that will show you how are those points actually allocated? How is it that you actually earn those points? My suggestion to you is get involved early and stay involved so that you can get max points. And I am not above giving folks extra credit who go well above and beyond. So make sure you're looking over this information here. And we'll be going over how do you actually do those discussions. You're going to have some weekly assignments. Now, these are typically going to be application activities. Takes you on average maybe 10 to 15 to 20 minutes. And those are going to be due by Sunday. You see, we have 11 of those for a grand total of at 10 points each for a grand total of 110 points. One of the things that's going to be required is a summary and analysis on a Wall Street Journal article. You have access to a free subscription to the Wall Street Journal. And what you want to do is to skim over, at least skim over the Wall Street Journal every day. All right. So have access to it, skim over it, and find an article that's interesting for you. I don't care what article it is, something that relates to business, preferably management, but anything that you want that you find interesting. And what you do is you provide a summary of the article, and then also, what does it mean for business? And so you post that to a discussion. You don't have to reply to others. This is just a place to get the information out there. And that way, here we are. You put one out there. You've read over the article and you've kind of analyzed it. Then you get to see what others have done also, as far as, okay, well, here's an article that they said, and they're giving you a summary and then what it means for business. We just learn more that way. There'll be 3 exams. Now, the exams are always on Fridays, and I do no makeups. In other words, if you have a brain cramp and you forget to do the exam on Friday, do not ask for a makeup. It ain't going to happen. Now, if you're traveling or something and you want to take it early, that's cool, but I don't do makeups. The exams will be on Fridays and Fridays only. They open up at 8 o'clock in the morning and they must be finished by midnight on Friday. The thing is, when you sit down to do that, and you can do it anywhere you want, any time that you want between 8 and midnight. Once you sit down and you start it, you have to have it finished in one sitting within 50 minutes. Okay. So there's 3 exams. They're always on Friday. They take max 50 minutes. Okay. In one sitting, anytime between 8 and midnight. The last part of the class, the last assignment in the class is going to be a reflection paper where you step back and you say, what were the key things I learned over this class? And how am I going to use it? So if you have to think about this in 2 aspects. Summarize your key learnings and then provide a plan as far as how you're going to use those learnings. You have the right to express your opinion, okay? Particularly in these discussion boards, if you have an opinion and you're putting something out there, and I don't want anybody else to say, oh, well, that sucks or that's wrong or anything like that. No, everybody's opinion should be valued. You can disagree. That's okay. The thing is, treat people with respect. I'll get back to you. It says within 48 hours. Most times it's going to be almost immediately or during the same day or whatever. I do everything I can to get back to you. I bust my butt on Mondays to get everything graded. By Tuesday morning, you should know exactly where you stand as far as the past weeks are concerned. So I will turn these things around just as quickly as I can. So I get back to you as soon as I can. Now, attendance. You need to quote unquote attend throughout the week. In other words, you're providing um, uh, submitting assignments, you are participating in the discussion boards, that sort of thing. Now, in the first week, you have to complete at least one graded assignment within that first week. So by Sunday, that first Sunday, you need to make sure that you've completed some assignments. And the reason for that is because if you don't, you will be administratively dropped from the course. So make sure you get going and get some things done. I don't do faculty initiated withdrawal. I've had students who will start a course and then they kind of disappear. All right. Well, some instructors drop them. They'll do a faculty initiated withdrawal. I don't do that. I prefer to hold people accountable for their decisions and for their actions. If you decide that you don't want to do the class anymore and you don't drop, you got yourself an F. That's all there is to it. I don't do the administrative withdrawals. Excuse me. I don't accept late work. Need to make sure that you get everything done on time. The reason for that is because in business, when you make a commitment to someone, you follow through on that commitment. So I don't accept late work. Now, I might think about it if there's arterial bleeding or if there's a cardiac arrest or something along those lines. I might think about it. Thing is, get things done on time. So you can see how things are going to be graded. Okay, we have 15 readings, 11 discussions, 13 Wall Street Journal articles, 11 application activities, 3 exams, and the final reflection. There's a lot of touch points out there as far as earning grades. You can blow one thing and it's not going to impact your grade that much. And so that's why I do this. That's why I have so many touch points, so many areas to earn those grades. That way, you actually have more flexibility on some of the things that you're doing. You have your student code of conduct. Make sure that you follow through on that. Don't cheat. And one of the things I say is AI is prohibited. I don't mind if you're using artificial intelligence to learn something new. The thing is, if you're going to use AI to write your papers or do your discussion posts, you're going to get zeros. First time, it's a zero and a warning. Second time, it's an F for the course. To me, that's cheating to have AI or Chat GPT or something like that to actually write the papers and do the discussion boards for you. So I don't allow AI tools to actually provide the background. And that also includes things like Grammarly. Many times students will do a paper and they'll use Grammarly to check things out. That actually comes across as AI generated. So you may want to stay away from that. The reason why I do this is because I want to help people with their writing. If you are having a difficult time writing, I will give you feedback as far as what it is that you can do to improve. And that's the only way that you can actually be able to write well. Uh, if you need accommodations, please get in touch with Access Services. We make sure that people are successful. And so if you need the accommodations, get in touch with them. We'll make sure it happens. We have some great counselors. Make sure you can check out the drop deadlines for the course in case that you need to have something there. You have your campus safety and things like that. We go through a lot of training every year to make sure that you stay safe. There's all the information that goes along with that. Talks about the technical requirements now, where you have to have like an I-5 at a minimum, that sort of thing. For this course, that doesn't matter. I do a lot of stuff with just a Chromebook. Okay, you can do this course with just a Chromebook. Works just fine. All papers that are submitted need to be submitted in either PDF, Windows, or open document formats. Do not submit something in Apple formats. Apple doesn't play well with anybody but Apple. All right. And so if somebody's not running Apple, which I don't, then I wouldn't be able to open your documents and you get a zero. So make sure that you submit any documents and anything in Windows format, open document format, or PDF. Then you have the tentative course schedule. We'll go into detail here in just a little bit, but it'll show you by week what is it that needs to be completed. Okay. So that's the syllabus. So make sure you open up the syllabus, work through that, see what's there. One of the main areas that you want to focus in on is the modules section. Everything is set up by week, and everything that you need for the week is within the module. So, like for week 1, okay, you open up week 1. Now, here's the instructions, and then anything that is an assignment that's earning points is going to be situated here. Things that are not earning points, things like readings, other readings, PowerPoints, maybe other articles or videos that I provide will be indented even more. Now, in the instructions section, What I've done is I've set it up so that there's a brief video that talks about what's required for the week. And so that'll give you kind of a rundown as far as what you need to do for the week. You have the learning objectives for the week, and then it shows by day what has to happen. And it has hot links to all of the things that you need to do. I've tried to make it so that in the instructions page, just about everything that you need is right there in the instructions. Any of the assignments that you need to access will be right here in the instructions. And it'll show you by day what needs to happen. On, excuse me, weeks where we have exams, there will be the readings that are necessary, but that's the only thing that you're going to have for the exam week. You're not going to have discussion boards. You're not going to have Wall Street Journal articles or application activities. You can just focus on the exam. The exams are going to be on Friday and Friday only. And you can see that there's a link to the exam. Now, one of the things I also do to help students prepare is to provide a practice exam. The practice exam opens up at 7 o'clock on Tuesday morning, closes at midnight on Thursday, and you can take it 3 times. It will be just like the regular exam. Now, it will have different questions because all of them are pulling questions from a question bank for the various chapters. But it'll be 30 questions, just like the regular exam. It'll be all multiple choice, be just like the regular exams. So you have the practice exams available to you to help. And I've found that people who utilize the practice exams and they go through them, maybe even all 3 times, typically score anywhere from 7 to 10 points higher on the exams. Just saying. So you have the modules. The modules are going to be the most important part. You can get to all of the readings, the exams. You can get to Wall Street Journal articles. You can get to the discussions. You can get to everything that you need each week, okay, primarily from the instructions page. Sorry, I have, have a little cold. So those are some of the key things as far as the class is concerned, the expectations and how to access things. If you have questions, please send me an email, give me a call, let me know what's going on. Looking forward to having a great semester with you folks. Take care.